Ooh, hello, beautiful souls. Hello. So soft it is. Oh, this energy is so yummy. It's really good after we went through some wild, emotional, and tumultuous energy for a couple weeks, if not months. Let's ride this wave, and this wave is the biggest one of your lifetime. More to come on that. But first of all, I just want to share really the vision and messages that I'm getting about this time that we're in right now, that really began with the Aries new moon and Chiron in Aries, Mercury in Aries, the sun and moon in Aries all together. And Chiron is the wounded healer. And it really began this space of ego transcendence, where we can be in a full place of love and reverence for each other and each other's experience, and really in the empathy that's coming through with all of these Pisces energies. So the vision that I've been getting is like the healing after the storm, not even necessarily the calm after the storm. It's like the community and the care healing, where we come together and lift each other up in our love and our light. And the physical wreckage is non-existent in that space, right? Because we feel so held and seen, and we have such trust in the energies that are surrounding us in those spaces. So that is where I definitely feel that we are. So if you have any lingering cords from any of that emotional turmoil that was happening, that could mean that we need to shore those up at that time. It could be the message that they're meant to stay in your life, and now is the time to have very deep, empathetic conversations, deep conversations of being seen and understanding, giving and receiving, that full divine connection and balance of the duality of what was coming so intensely from that imbalance. So this feels good. And honestly, our move into Pisces, Venus into Pisces yesterday, is just like the icing on this cake. It's really setting us up for being fully receptive to what Pam Gregory calls the spiritual tsunami that's coming next week, Tuesday, April 12th. Jupiter and Neptune conjuncting in Pisces, first time in 166 years, only one of our lifetime, and the most divine spiritual energy that we have ever had available. But we have to be available for it. So this is where we do our work, where we get into a place of alignment for preparation. I mean, we're already feeling these energies deeply. So when they come next week in even more power, woo! Y'all, miracles everywhere. I want you to be living in a spiral dimension where possibilities and wild changes and shifts can come in like that, because that is how we are meant to be and exist and live in these spaces. So yeah, the Venus in Pisces is really, it's so exalted, and it's such a great space of femininity, the divine feminine energies, of like softness, of self, like pure self-love, the self-love that we were never taught in a society of comparison and competition, right? And intuition, and the spaces of full receptivity. And that really is going to put us in such an open place for what is raining, like light raining in to us, this crystalline energy. This is our cellular recoding. This is our light body activation, and it's happening now, and it's only going to build. So I want you to be unbelievably intentional in your innate health, and that is your sleep practices. This is where we have our highest consciousness connection, as our pineal gland activates and fully engages in its place of strength, as our melatonin rises, as the fear frequency subsides and releases and leaves our being and our field, so that we are a vessel to the intelligent life, the beings, the energies that are coming in our highest good. So I implore you to put out your asks, to state your intentions before you go to sleep. That can be through journaling. It can be through, voicing your truth. It can be through vision and imagination and connection in any way, because you have an entire language of your sensory. Whoops, that was my cat alarm, also signaling my personal alarm to talk to you more about the animal energy that is definitely coming online with the spiritual tsunami that's happening. But first, let me just finish by saying you have that sensory system language, so use that to connect deeply with all living energies and all living beings, because that is the universal language, and we are evolving back into what we came in with to help us navigate this life in really abundant and magical and magnetizing ways. So use that on your way in to your deep sleep state, in your deep spiritual connection and third eye activation. Okay, so the animal energy, are you feeling it? Are you getting the messages from them? Because that comes through in the sensory system as well, in your body consciousness. And they speak the spiritual space that we are moving in. They live in full present moment, and they also live in full unconditional love, which is where us humans are finally making the deep evolution into, if you're doing your practice. And this happens even more in the early morning hours, when you're coming out of that spiritual activation in your sleep consciousness, and you're moving into your waking consciousness, into your physical existence, prior to plugging into the matrix or the noise out there or the fear frequency that's around us. When you're in that just pure energy of who you are, when you're in that space of trust and surrender, that is when we have the full recoding and activation. That is when we are getting the light information into our heart center. So for me, I've been waking up speaking the light language with the Pleiadians, and I always love when this comes in, because it's the most beautiful, harmonious feeling that my physical body has ever experienced. And I'm also getting these gorgeous heart activations as I come to consciousness. It's like my heart is being squeezed with a hug or love, and it's like fluttering this beautiful energy. It's literally creating the butterfly effect out into the rest of my energy field as I come in to the physical realm. And then it's my job to make that integration with everything that's been pouring in during that time. And pay attention to your dreams right now, especially because this energy is all about dreams and being boundless and limitless. And notice what is the emotional connection or the emotional direction or message that's coming through in your dreams. So I just want to invite you right now to disconnect for a day, for 3 days, for a week during this time, because you won't actually know the limitlessness of the possibilities of where you can go in this divine connection of our spiritual self, our light body, our infinite light, and the physical existence. The more present that you become, the more you're able to hear the calls through your body consciousness and activate them through your heart, and release the control mind, the mind of past experience, the thought brain. I don't know. I'm definitely going to do it, especially at the conjunction on the 12th, and maybe for a lot of time around that, which is why I'm popping on now with these messages. And I'll let you know that I will be sharing a podcast today or tomorrow with a beautiful meditation activation for this time and all of these enormous possibilities of where we can go. I mean, it's endless. And it's like, in our language, shocking, where we can go from one state to a quantum and infinite other state in one night, in one morning. And then we send that out into the collective, and then we create the ripple effect, and then we change this culture and what's going down in these very moments in the matrix. So that's my invitation to you. And see how it feels. Because, you never know how deep you can go when you are fully present in these spaces. So the card that I picked is the Ancients. And this is everything that's coming through. We are reactivating an ancient bloodline that is pouring in the cellular recoding of full creation energy. And we get to bring it into our consciousness, into this physical existence. And we get to create miracles with this knowledge of all that was, all that is, and all that will ever be. Animals have it as well. And so this, as I turn this card, I'm feeling like the ancestors and the ancient wisdom is actually using the portal of our animal companions. And that's not just domestic companions, of all the animals that create such a beautiful energy of life on this planet. You can hear them right now. So take heed. They bring us into the present moment. Notice them around you. Listen to what they're singing, what they're sharing, what they're saying. Notice the symbology of the animals that come near, because they are bringing deep messages and guidance right now. It's almost like the message I'm getting, it's like the ancients or the ancestors they're coming in every way possible. It's like they're coming through the sun. They're coming through the animals. They're coming through the clouds. They're coming through the wind. It's like they're coming through the earth elements with the spirit soul in order for us to integrate it into the physical body. That is the message. And I did actually get a clarifier card that came out, which is birch. And that just completely solidifies that message, because birch is ancient and it's old and it's wise. It has seen many moons, and it holds a strength and a power in it and a beauty in it that it's almost like it branches out to us. It calls out to us. So these two cards together tell me the ancients are coming, the ancestors are coming through the trees as well, through the leaves, through the sounds that come from nature. So during this next week, especially, get your feet on the ground, lay on the earth, smell her grounded soil, spend time with the animals. Take, as you're walking by an animal, go ahead and give her or him or it a little pet. Be there for the message. So I hope that this resonated with you. I know it's a longer video and we absolutely have big things to exchange here. Enjoy this beautiful space that we are feeling right now. Ride this wave as deeply as you can, and also integrate it in a very solid way so that you can move forward through the new waves that will come, through the new growth and learning, and through the fluctuations of the dismantling of old paradigms and the rebirthing of new. This is where we get to bring in the highest support that we have ever had as a human species, and we get to emanate it into the collective. You are an integral part of everything that happens from this moment forward. I love you. I am so stoked to be here with you. And if you want to go deeper with me, you know, get into my link tree in my bio on my website at therawandwildhearts.com. Send me an email. Like, let's do this powerfully. And I am here to be a divine guide in any way that resonates for you. Peace and love, babes. Mwah.